divide and conquer and oppression, right? So understand the misdirection, because that's what it is, misdirection. So now you have this whole cabal, this whole thing going on of racism, poverty, right? Taxes, wealth, politics, everything wrapped up. All of it is a fucking distraction. Distracting you from history, distracting you from what's really going on long enough for these people to take over completely. Case in point, I just put out a video yesterday. Put out a video on what's going on with the marches and the protests or what have you. People protesting all over the country or what have you, other countries as well, right? And they're protesting for people that are not Americans. They're protesting for illegal immigrants, right? Immigration, whole bunch of other stuff, what have you, right? But the bigger issue here is our politicians. We do not march for what's really destroying our country. And it's the media, it's the politicians. So you got to understand influence. What's been influenced, right? Us. Social media. So you have social media putting out ads, people getting paid money to go out there to march for things that's not going to benefit the people as a whole. We march for gay rights. We march for breast cancer, equal rights under the law, all kinds of stuff, right? Stuff that should be basic and normal in this country. And we're not realizing we're not marching for the one thing that can fix the whole issue. And that's to end this government system. Plain and simple, right? The government system is the problem. The news media is the problem. And I've been saying this for years. When people start to wake up and realize how the media influence has been controlling us for decades, they would shut the whole thing down. How the politicians are not politicians. They are not here to help us at all. They haven't been helping us since day one. They are for the oligarchs. They are for the corporations, not for us. So the fact that we can be manipulated to march for something that's not even in our best interest as a country, to the point where people are being arrested, people are being killed, people are getting in fights with cops. They got the freaking National Guard out there. They got troops out there. Who do you think is winning? You think this is something that is normal for us to go out there and march for something that's not even going to benefit us in the long run? Okay, so let's say we do allow immigration, allow these people into the country. What's the issue? We get somebody to, fix our lawns, build our shit quicker, stuff that's not going to benefit everybody, right? So what is the point? That we can dedicate this kind of energy for something that is not going to fix the problem with America, right? Think about that. That has to be manipulation. That is manipulation. We forget everything else. We're going to give you something we want you to march for to distract you from the things that we really don't want y'all to know about, right? So are we marching for stuff that don't fucking matter, for real, for real? What's being taken away? Our real freedoms, our real rights. They're getting closer and closer to the end. And people are not seeing it and not seeing what's happening. And it's something I want people to really start to think about, because it's coming. It's coming. Everything is leading to something. The war that's happening with Israel, what's happening with Iran. This is your whole end times bullshit that everybody talks about, right? This is not no ordained by God thing. This is not no biblical shit. This is men making these things happen. And this is what it's coming to. And it's going to come to a head. And we don't know how ugly it's going to actually get. But we have to start marching for shit and standing up for shit that actually makes sense. That's actually going to benefit us as a whole. Racism is stupid. This black and white shit is stupid. Everything we talk about and argue about on social media, whether it's Tyler Perry and the movies he put out, whether it's rapper beef, Drake and fucking Kendrick Lamar, he coming back at him now. Oh, he don't want to rap now. It's so much bullshit out there. Everything's distraction. Pay attention to the biggest thing that's coming. They're talking about a new virus. They're talking about war. They're talking about China possibly invading America or possibly doing shit in America. All kinds of shit. And we are missing out on some major fucking Easter eggs that's been put out there for people to fucking find and look at and examine and say, you know what? Something is not making sense. Something is not adding up. And for me, the biggest thing has been this fucking country. And the fact that where the fuck is the money gone? And how is it that China, Thailand even, Dubai can afford to put so much money in the infrastructure of their country to make it look like this? And we can't. We don't have this shit. So what are we talking about here? What are we arguing about when we don't have this shit? We don't have anything to rival it. We don't have anything to really equal it. And we just skip over this, the healthcare. We skip over the ease of life, how easy they're living in these countries and how hard we have it here, right? So much stuff we overlook, and everybody's screaming at the top of their lungs, this is the greatest country in the world, and it's clearly not. Distractions, man, is so much. And I've been talking for years about distractions and things we have been distracted with And this just fits in with that whole group. So it's so many different things, but the history of this country and the history of what took place, as far as how we got in the status that we are in, as far as Black people, really needs to be re-examined, man. And we got to take a look, man. Even white people, don't matter what fucking color you are. Y'all got to start to take a look at everything that has been systematically set up to be what it is today and what's the reason behind it. And that reason behind it has been a chain of events that has led us here. Everything has affected everything, from slavery, right, to the guilt that exists within white people when Jim Crow came about, right, when civil rights came about. And then now that guilt exists, that hatred exists, because when a person is wronged and they're caught out on their wrong shit, the last thing they want is to be reminded of it, right? Especially when so much hatred has been built up in them towards the people. And then you say, we kind of fucked up. We got to let these people go. You shouldn't hate these people. And then now what? Now there's this whole uneasy feeling we have around each other. Now this is history of racism and racism that still exists, all stemming from slavery up until now. So then now that happened, you have civil rights, you have everything that's been going on with racism, lead into this whole tension between Black and white that is there, that is a weapon that they have been using against us for a long time, right? That exists, that's set in place. Now, whenever they need to, they can tap into that to distract the people from real shit. And they've been doing that since fucking Ferguson, since fucking Mike Brown, since Trayvon Martin, etc. Right? So we got to think about that. It's just been becoming a lot more obvious to me how much Black people are the distraction, that we are the weapon being used against this country to distract everybody from what's really important. And when we realize that and, basically come together, I think everybody else will follow suit. And that's one of the reasons why so many things are out there to keep us hindered and to keep us in this position. And we're looking at this thing and we're saying it's a Black thing, and it's a Black thing for that reason, because we are the power. We are that weapon, right? And it's whenever we organize, whenever we do whatever, we are followed. And if we ever organize as a people, then the rest of the people will follow. So they can't allow that to happen. You can't allow the weapon to not be a weapon anymore, right? So this is why we have the distraction and why things are the way that it is. And when we see that, when we start to recognize that, we can take that power back and use it to benefit us as well as the people. But it's something that we have to wake up to, and we are just not doing that right now. So when people have the question, and people always have that question as to why things are this way, I always tell people, man, we got to look in the mirror. And we got to stop pointing the blame at so many different things and put the blame at us, since we are the ones being basically used to control this whole thing. And, it's going to take every individual to become conscious and get themselves together for us to have any type of chance or shot, which to me is pretty much hopeless. But the knowledge has to be still put out there, and people have to have it in their psyche of what's actually going on, right? And then we make a choice. It's up to the people to choose the type of future that they want and the direction we're going to go in as a planet or what have you. They already have their mind made up, and they already have the plan laid out for as to how they want things to be. From here on out, it's going to be up to everybody to figure out what they want to do. And the thing is, when you begin to see that people are not going to wake up and people are not going to get their shit together, it's like, okay, what do you have to do for yourself? What do you want for yourself? Do you want to lead this country? Do you want to get your shit together and do something else? Do you want to look at alternative things? Or are you just going to stick this whole thing out and say, well, whatever happens, happens, which is exactly what they want you to do. And that's what everybody's doing. It is what it is. Whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. And well, they can't do this to everybody, and they can't fuck up everybody, or we are the people. We come together, we can fix this problem. Nothing too great is going to happen that's going to make us not come together and fix it, right? And this is what people are thinking. Well, if it's a blackout, we still have each other, right? If they want a civil war, it's more of us than them. You're not paying attention. You're not paying attention. You're thinking the way they know you're going to think, and you're falling right into the trap. And by the time you realize it, it's going to be too late. So this is out here for people to really think. So much I could put in this video, but I got to be really careful about what I say and what I put in here. Stuff we'll talk about in society. But there's a lot going on that you guys really need to understand and see which is right in front of your face. And they're telling you exactly what these things is, and they're showing you. Do you think that it's a good thing to scare the American people and have them thinking that we're on the brink of war, to have people believing that our government is basically against the people? So many things that's out there, but they have to show us, because we have to pick and choose how we want to be governed and how we want things to be. Now, marching for immigration laws or whatever we march for, That's up to us. That's what we choose to do as the people. That's what we choose to talk about, what we choose to post, the type of videos or content we choose to put out. I choose to put out this. I choose to put out alternative, completely different ways of thinking to get people to think deeper besides of, what we've been shown or told to think or talk about, right? So when you start to look outside these topics and pay attention to the bigger thing, something is not right, man. Something's going on. And again, I haven't really harped on this whole subject a lot, but it's something that I'm seeing and scratching my head more and more as to the level of development of other countries versus America. And it's scary to me. It's really making me think something major is going to happen here. Like, this is just a facade. It's only being put up for us to look at it and say it's okay, or it's this, or it's that. But compared to these other countries, it's nothing. And you're an American. You've been here your whole life. Most of you guys have never been outside the country. You haven't experienced life anywhere else. To you, this is the shit. This is everything. But when you begin to think about the quality of life these people have and how we are supposed to be the greatest and we don't have certain things, you start to really think about what the fuck is really going on here. Where's our leadership leading us to? Where are we fucking really, really headed? And the question is, what are we going to do when we don't get there? It's going to be too late. Plain and simple. So all I can say to people is, pay attention, man. Start to really wake up into what the media is talking about and what politics is really going to benefit the people and what people is really talking about. Movies and a bunch of old shit, a lot of stuff that's going on, rap beefs and all that is not going to get us out of the coming situation. Plain and simple. Invest your money, plan ahead, get ready. You still have time to make sure you're in a good financial place to not get caught up in the bullshit that's coming this way. Again, stuff we talk about in society. And, I put these videos out because I'm like, my mind be all over the place and I have time and I'll stop somewhere and I'll record if I feel like I can get a video out. But I want to keep putting out this content to get people to really think and challenge you guys to think more about what this country really is and what actually happened here. People talking about Tartaria, it's a global system. You look around at a lot of these fucking cities back in the 1800s, something happened here. And I said this before, clear as day. There's no way entire cities was built in fucking the 1800s that fast. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you look at a lot of the Capitol buildings, a lot of downtown city hall places, especially in Chicago. We had the Great Chicago Fire, the 1800s, what have you, 19th century. And what did they burn down, right? What did World War II destroy? And that question is really making people look deeper into what could have possibly happened here and what the reset theory is all about. The mud flood, what have you, with Tartaria, all that shit. So like I said, I got a DVD coming on that when I get into all this. But something is not right. Something is completely off. Something weird is getting ready to happen. And it's real deep. And I want people to start to really think about everything that's out here because they flood social media with so many videos, so much content to get into your mind so they can tell you because they have to tell us. So you got to start taking that stuff in and figure out what you're going to do. But yeah, that's my time. I got to get out of here. But thanks for taking time to watch, people. Links in the description for everything. You can still join Merkabah Scholar Society. Consultations are still going on. Book sales are going to be going out soon. I'm going to be putting back out the book soon as this verdict comes through with the case. I'm not going to give out the exact date on here or what have you, but it's coming up. And I'm going to keep you guys in touch about that whole thing. And people are going to get emails pretty soon. But yeah, thanks for taking the time to watch. Peace.